yes, obviously there's got to be some targeting here because it's apparently GOC folks together. But, motive is sort of secondary right now. Primary is contain the scene, make sure it doesn't expand beyond what they have in front of them, and treat the people.
And get it all contained. Okay, Brad Garrett, thanks very much. I want to go quickly back to Pierre Thomas. What more can you tell us about who's responding at this moment?
Again, we know that the Alexandria police are on scene. We're also being told that the FBI is on scene. Again, that is unusual. They don't typically respond to local crime this way. Obviously, there's great concern that the congressman may have been targeted. Again, we don't know motive yet, but the FBI is on the scene investigating vigorously.
Mary Bruce, I want to get you back on the phone as well right now. We're just talking to Brad Garrett about the possibility of other attacks. No indication of that at all right now. But can you tell us, do you know of any activity in the Capitol now, any alerts going out to members of Congress, their offices, any extra security precautions being taken?
George, none so far that we have seen, but I would imagine certainly there will be a heightened sense at the Capitol today. Of course, this information is coming in. Everyone's trying to figure out what is going on and on heightened alert, but I would not be surprised if we see some extra measures on Capitol Hill today.
It is a busy time at the Capitol right now. Congress just back after its Memorial Day break. As Mary was saying, they were practicing for this baseball game. A lot going on at the Capitol on health care, dealing with the various other matters before the Congress right now. We've seen all of these hearings also on Russia and terrorism. But Mary, talk a little bit more again. Nothing being done right now, but in recent months and years, the kind of security precautions being put in at the Capitol since we've seen since both 9/11 and these other incidents at the Capitol, all the visitors go through metal detectors.
Yes, all visitors go through metal detectors. There's a real heightened sense of security around the Capitol over the last few years. In order to get into the Capitol as a visitor, you have to go through manic detectors. All bags are searched, all people are searched as they go through those metal detectors. Even members of the press, every morning when we go in, George, even though we are credentialed, we have to go through bags. Our bags are looked at carefully. And we should mention again that Chief Police and other leaders, of course, travel with their own security, even within the